No, it's here, it's here. I like that.
Okay, so. So welcome to Aiesec Slo MCP election 1516. First of all, I want to thank you guys who came here, especially for our Kran people, who were the first people to arrive. Yeah. I really appreciate you guys being here because, as you know, this will determine the next leadership of Aiesec in Slovenia. And you guys being present here really shows that you care about this entity and that you guys play a huge role in deciding the next leadership of Aiesec Slovenia. So whether like you are a voting entity or not, it's super important and super meaningful that you guys are here because it shows that you do have the power and you do have like your opinions and thoughts that can still move and affect how this election will turn out today. And whatever happens, it'll be for the best of the entity. So I expect that you guys can participate actively throughout the process, give questions to the candidate, to Maria. And also, she's a lone candidate, so please be supportive. And when she's in here, when she's presenting, just be loud, really support her, and give a lot of positive energy because it's really hard. And I'm sure for her, she's also nervous right now. So yeah, that's just a few words from me for you guys to keep note throughout the election, and also to be present throughout the election. And for any other things you need to know, later on will be explained by our lovely chair, which I will introduce to you guys after this. So, just so that we can officially open this election process, I would like to propose a motion. Okay, so this is a procedural motion proposed by Gita Vanya, seconded by Dino Lucanets. Motion reads that Aiesec Slovenia Member Committee President 1516 elections to be open. So the explanation is we need to officially open Aiesec Slovenia Member Committee President election, and so this is the motion to officially open the election. So speakers for, speakers against. Can we pass this by acclamation? Oh, general discussion. Can we pass this by acclamation? Next motion, proposed by Dita Vanya, seconded by Tito Lucanes. So the motion reads is that the chair of Aiesec Slovenia Member Committee President 1516 election is Nastya Stoyanovska. Am I pronouncing it? Okay. And the secretary will be Maya Seglar as the note taker. Okay, so speakers for, to ensure that the MCP election runs well, we need to have a chair who will be conducting the entire process. The chair is also someone outside of the national plenary, so she will not have any effect on how the voting outcome will turn out. And also Maya, we need a secretary in order to record and document the entire process of the election. Okay, speakers for, speakers against. General discussion, can we pass this by acclamation? All right, cool. So next I will give it up to our lovely chair, Nastya.
Do I introduce myself first or count the room first?
You can count the vote.
Okay. Okay, hello. First we will check who is present here at the election. So we have two voting entities. One is Aiesec Ljubljana. Is Aiesec Ljubljana present? Okay, and who will be voting in the name of Aiesec Ljubljana? Can you say your name? Okay, thank you. Is MC present?
Yes.
Who will be voting in the name of MC? Okay. Is Aiesec present? Great. And there is no other entity present, yeah? Okay, we have it present 2 entities out of 2. We have reached the full quorum and election can be open.
Yay!
Okay, so I don't have a agenda, yeah? Okay, so maybe to explain first a bit about what elections are, and then we can go to exactly your concrete elections and to agenda and what you can expect out of this day today. First, I would like to thank you for inviting me to your elections. It's quite an honor. It's, I think, my 5th election of MCP Aiesec in Slovenia without second and third rounds. And I was once on that side, and I was also once on this side as a candidate. And I think it's really good and important that you came here. As Dita already said, it's like you're co-creating the future of Aiesec. In Slovenia, you're co-creating your own future inside the organization by voting for MCP, and you're also co-creating future experiences of the whole youth in Slovenia. So it's quite a responsibility you're having right now, right? It's like 2 million people in Slovenia, I don't know, 300,000 young people, and yourself, you're also deciding about your own future, yeah? So I think it's good that you came here, and don't be afraid to ask the questions that are lying on you and that you want to ask, because I was once the candidate here as well, yeah? And it's the best forum to have to ask questions, and for the candidate is also valuable to get your input, because the questions you ask is something that she can use if she would be elected to create the story of Aiesec Slovenia in the next year. It is also very good as even the stuff for current MC and for current EB and for yourself, because to think what are the things that are bothering you, what are the things that are important to you, what are the things that you want to put on the table. So the questions you ask are important for now and for the future. I encourage you to use them well, yeah, to really ask things you want to know, and to accept this responsibility that is put to you, but also to enjoy the whole process, because it is a first step in building of 2015-2016 year, yeah? Okay, so if we can go to agenda. Or do you want me to say something else? I can talk for hours, so I would recommend we talk about it. In the meantime, I would also like to remind you that elections are, let's say, official procedure. So it is not like a party where you come in and come out and chat whatever you want. But because you will be making the decision, and this decision is important, I want you to be present for the whole time. So there will be no leaving the room during the election except when there are breaks. If there is absolutely must that you need, I think you're still adults, so you know when to pee in advance, but if there is absolutely necessary that you leave, please come to me and we will put down your, decide if your reason is good, and we will put down your name, and so we have in the minutes who was present when who wasn't present. But as I said, I would recommend you to be present for the whole time because it's input for casting your vote, yeah? I can also in this time explain the election procedure. We have two voting entities. We have MC and LC Ljubljana. Of course, inside the, I asked who will be voting, but of course, inside the entity, I expect that you would decide together on the vote. I will explain voting later on when we come to that point. But since we have one candidate, it's pretty much vote for or vote against. Election commission that will be counting votes will be depending on. And we also have this body called like election committee in the case when there is tied, the vote is used, and it will be compromised by you, like consisting from you and
it will actually consist Aiesec Slo or any other entity who will be participating on the live stream virtually. So you will still vote in the case that there is a tie between MC and Ljubljana.
so like everyone will cast a vote in advance. Yeah, we at the end, like when election commission count, you will not know whether this extra vote was used or not because it's not announced that it was tied. But for example, if one entity would vote for and the other against the candidate, then this third vote would be used, and we would replace the one that would lose. So at the end, you would see us two votes. Yeah. Okay. And we have the agenda. Great. So to go through agenda, we have several steps of elections that will give you an insight into the candidate through different steps. I think it's really nice how agenda is structured, that you can decide on two separate blocks. One is the candidate as a person and as her motivation, and the second one is her strategy. So here you will have, candidate will have half an hour to present herself and to say something about her candidature. Then you will have half an hour to ask questions, personal questions. But what do we mean by personal questions is about questions that will help you understand her personality, her motivation, her leadership, and everything that comes from within, let's say, yeah? Questions will be asked in a way, we will come to this later as well, but you will write your name on the note that you want to ask a question, and then we will pick names out and you will ask. Then it's lunch, good, and some energy. And then it's the second part of the questions, which is about strategy. And this time, this half an hour, you have to ask the candidate about what is her strategy with the entity for the next year. So first is internal, and second one is more like external, the whole Aiesec Slo. Then we have, okay, this is a bit different, yeah? We have break, we have then external Q&A. Your MC invited some people from that are not currently members of Aiesec in Slovenia to ask, that are, let's say, out in the market, not students anymore. that will ask questions as well. Of course, they will not be deciding, but it might help you to see some external perspective, because MCP is not just your internal leader, but is also representative of the organization towards the whole Slovenia, and it's also leading the, I mean, of course your strategy is tied to the external world, so they are here to provide you more external perspective. These questions are basically, they ask for you to get more input. They will also give their own assessment, what do they think of the candidate. Of course you can take it, you don't need to take it, it's up to you, yeah? Then we will have a discussion process on the candidate, which I think Dita will tell more about. We will again go through the voting process, and of course then we have the announcement. In case the candidate is a, no, I will not tell you about this, just one. So, good luck. Use the time well.
Just a note over here, we have printed her application package, so in case you haven't been able to read it, you can please just feel free to take and pass the booklet around to everyone. And just read it if you like. So now we're going to go to the video of the candidate, and then she will come inside and she will present her presentation. And when she comes in, everybody just like stand up, be excited, and cheer her on, and be excited for her. Okay? Energy. Okay. This is around.
Don't you see?
Hello, Aiesec Slo Global Network. My name is Maria Pichova, and I'm applying to be a member committee president of Aiesec Slo in 2015-2016. My personal introduction. I'm originally from St. Petersburg, Russia. I'm 23 years old. I'm graduated from Science and Technology, so technically a Master of Science. And for now, I'm an MCP ELECTIONS. The reason why I'm deciding to continue my MCP journey and apply to be member committee president right now is simple and complicated at the same moment. It is simple because I believe that Aiesec mission, development of positive value-based leadership, empowering individuals is something which is relevant everywhere, at any moment, in any country of the world. And I want to be a part of a mission. I want to be the one who participates, who activates others, who inspires others to take actions. But the reason why my motivation and why the reason to apply is complicated, because I firstly have to ask myself why it should be me who will lead the changes, who will lead the big changes, who will lead the stories of new young people in countries I don't even belong to. So when I asked this question to myself, I struggled for a while to find an answer, and then it just came to my mind. I had a chance to pass through big Aiesec journey. I had a chance to see many stories around me. I had a chance to create many stories around me. I had a chance to see people developing themselves, people changing, people shaping their values, people changing themselves. And I think the word from what I got and from all this experience is a passion. It's a passion to make the change. It's a passion to make a difference. It's a passion that drives me every day when I wake up, and it's a passion that helps me to push myself, to go out of my comfort zone, to develop others, and just be a part of the mission, of Aiesec mission, leadership development. And then I ask myself again, why? Why it should be me? Why it should be passion, something that drives me? I cannot remember it now. There is an expression that dream without financial plan is an illusion. And I also believe that passion without strategy is just an illusion. And from my point of view, I think I'm the person who knows the strategy, how we can move Aiesec Slo forward, how we can make this country better, and how we can empower bright professional individuals in here. So what do I envision for Aiesec Slo in the next term? We can slowly move now part of my board. Aiesec 2015-16, we have to focus on three main directions, which will help us to establish our operations and fulfill our mission in a more professional way. So the first one is a market expansion. The operations we now have in Aiesec Slovenia are not that big enough total market share doesn't overcome 2% of total national market. I believe that if we will increase our operations, it will attract more external stakeholders, it will attract more organizations, we will become stronger, and we will have more long-lasting, really value-based partnership inside the country, which will help us to do very good. The next step I see is talent empowerment. Aiesec is an organization consisting of people who drive the organization. It's not the people who develop the organization, but it's the organization that develops people. So what I see here, we have to really work on our membership, on education of our members, on our talent capacity, to make them stronger, to make them more professional, to make them competitive in the market, and develop this young, value-based leadership in our generation. And the last thing I see here, it's actually B2B partnership. What is B2B partnership? Partnership based on collaboration with government institutions and top headliners of the market. Because it will allow us to get feedback and some expertise of products around, make them more relevant for market, and target our audience there. And what I mentioned in the end for Aiesec Slovenia in 2015-16, we will slowly move to a phase of sustainable growth, with our operation functioning independently from each other, able to sustain ourselves, to be strong financially, to be strong in terms of capacity, and achieve our goals and our mission in the country. So that's all from my side for now. Thank you for your attention, and see you during the elections. Hello, Aiesec Slovenia, Zero Board Member, Member Committee President.
Okay, so get ready to welcome
So, hello, dear National Partner of Aiesec Slovenia, global network.
4 of them.
Yeah, my name is Marie Petrova, and today I'm applying to be Member Committee President of Aiesec Slovenia in 2015-2016. Just quickly going through the basics. I'm 23 years old, I'm Russian, and I master of science and technology. But you know, I got 15 minutes today to talk about anything I want. And this actually are not the things. Because none of us is defined by our nationality, by our age, even by our background. The thing that makes us people who we are now is our choice. But I don't know if you ever thought about it. Most probably yes. From the moment we were born, we actually don't make decisions on ourselves. Firstly, it's our parents who make our decisions, then teachers, and this is normal because we're growing up and we're not capable to decide what is better for us. Then, logically, there should be one moment. There should be one moment, then we understand it. From now on, we own our lives, and we are the ones who make our decisions. And what's happening in real life? We are growing up, we listen to our parents, we listen to our teachers. Then we start listening to society. We listen to the system, and one day we just found ourselves surrounded by things we actually have never wanted to own, and doing a job we have never wanted to have. Because sometimes we just forget that it's time to make decisions, and there is no one around who will guide us through this. And actually, we are the ones who make the change every time we make a decision. And change can be big. Society in general, after we pass through the system, we live in society which is formed by chance. It's formed by tradition, it's formed by random circumstances. And what actually makes the change? Change is something that makes by individuals. Every time we decide that now it's my responsibility to make a change. And change is made by choice. To make a change, we have to choose to make a change. You know, from my personal story, I was like at some point. 4 years ago, I met someone who first ever in my life challenged myself, asked me, what actually your personal values? What are you striving for? And what are you actually doing with your everyday life? And that happened when I met Aiesec. And what's a special thing in this meeting? That was a meeting that changed my life. Not the country I'm living in, not the language I'm speaking, not the people around.
The change was in my way of perception of things, my way I perceive reality, my way I'm taking responsibility, and my way I start my every morning. And Aiesec here is an organization that develops leaders. It's an organization that empowers young people to make their own choice, to make decisions, to be brave enough to make decisions. And here in Slovenia, since I moved here 5 months ago, I had a chance to talk to many different people from different generations, from different cities, with totally different background, and they told me many stories. They told me stories about culture, about history, about everyday reality, about the way the country is, because I don't know, I'm not from here. And stories was interesting, I learned a lot of it. But there was one thing, which surprised me really, really a lot, and which made me say at some point, people were complaining, all of them. Started from different age, I think the youngest person was 11, and the oldest was near 80, I don't really know. So they were telling me the same things. They were telling me there's corruption, there's bureaucracy, this is a small country, we have no potential, we have small market, it's complicated to be here. And many young people told me, there is this here. I'd rather go somewhere else because I don't want to stay here, I don't see opportunities for myself. And this is sad. This is not pleasant to see, and it was not pleasant to see for me and to hear for me, because my experience in Slovenia was amazing. Even though every day people constantly tell me, oh, it's a small country, maybe by territory, but it doesn't define anything. Here is a big zoo. There is a lot of people who are capable to change things. But they complain. They complain about things that actually can be changed. It's not the weather, it's not the climate. It's something you can make change by yourself. And Aiesec here is an organization to develop leadership. And from my perception, I really would like to see Aiesec in Slovenia developing leadership that Slovenia really needs. And when I was thinking how we can come to this point, what's the leadership Slovenia needs and how we can be relevant here, I came up to 3 main strategies. For the next upcoming year, I will go one by one, so later on you will have time to ask me questions. The first thing I see is actually talent empowerment. When we talk about empowering others, about leadership, we probably have to start from ourselves. We have to ensure that our members get the experience that Aiesec promised them to get, that they develop the skills and qualities they can develop in Aiesec, and they actually have an amazing Aiesec journey. We have to think more about educational cycles and boarding the recognition system, just to ensure, just to track standards and satisfaction we have, and how town management functions in general area. The second thing is market expansion. I've heard so many times the market here is kind of small, we don't have opportunity to grow, but then I looked for statistics, and we actually not cover even 2% of market we can work with, which is kind of sad. So what is here? It's establishment and operation specialized units, which are not running all the programs we have market for, and re-establishing operation LCSV, for example, we really recently dropped. And the last is link-to-link partnerships. When I was thinking how relevant our products are, how relevant our sales are, what is our sales strategy, marketing strategy, are we really here, or what country really needs? I actually understood that we don't know. We don't know because we never asked. We never asked anyone for guidance. We never asked government, for example, how relevant our educational programs are for students and for school children. We never asked market headliners which would be relevant for them to sell from us, and which would be partnership area for us. And I think we should start. I think we should start looking for support in bigger sector of market, just for us to increase to establish our positions, to become stronger and become like this first choice partner, which Slovenia really needs. Yeah, my speech actually coming to the end. Probably the last thing I would like to say is thank you for your attention, and let's make the change together. I'm really nervous. Okay, so as it was explained before, each of you will get 3 notes, and you can put your name on 1 or 2 or all 3, we will put it in a bag, and then we will, when there will be questions, we will take the question out, and you will have like your name out, and then you will have time to ask the question, yeah? So you can think of think of your questions, put your name on 1, 2, or 3 leaves, and then give them back, yeah?
So can we just assign ourselves? Or?
Yeah, just put your name on, so I can read it.
So we just put our names down?
Yep.
Ah, okay.
Sorry, I wasn't clear. Just your names, and then I take it out and you ask the question. I'm sorry. Okay, let's keep. Okay. I can put the candidate. Sorry. So, to explain, I will take out name, the person will ask your question. You will have 2 minutes to answer the question.
Okay.
Marta will like knock after 30 seconds, because you will probably need time to think a bit, so you know approximately your timeline. And she will be tracking time, and she will also stop you when,
Okay.
when the time is off, yeah? Guys?
2 minutes.
So first question is from Matteo.
First draft pick.
Okay, what do you want to develop in yourself during if you were chosen as that?
I think it's like, for me, it's a lot about general professional management in terms of the personal development. Because I had no experience to be CEO of a national entity. So it's how to work with team, how to, not even to work with team, how to work efficiently with team and several entities which have different realities. It's about this communication, because you have to talk to different LCs to have different perception of things. And maybe like big scale thinking, because there are many things you have to keep in mind. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Next question. Next question by Sabina.
Where you will get motivation from, or how?
There are usually 2 types of motivation for me, like internal and external. External motivation for me is always the team. Not talking about performance and how people achieve something. It's just that when you're a leader, you're responsible for experience of people. And you want to do maximum for them to fulfill their expectations and get maximum to experience. And internal, I think I'm self-aware in terms of what I would like to see in an entity, I would like to change in myself. And this is the vision, and the vision drives me.
You can also clarify if you need more answers.
Maya.
So, what would be a reason that would, or like what a circumstance that would make you, let's say, resign from the position, or or in addition to this question, or lose your motivation to continue?
I don't know about losing motivation. I will think it while answer. About resigning for me, so it could be only one reason if something serious happens in my family, which is not here. So that's the only thing. About losing motivation, we all have ups and downs. It's abnormal to be always totally motivated. You just have to remind yourself of why happens that.
Okay. There were more than okay. Dino.
So when you will be like choosing your MCT, what type of people are you going to choose, or different like perceptual question with which kind of people you can work or you cannot work?
I don't think it's sort of strict question because technically you can work with everyone. This is normal. It's how communication works. Which type of people? I believe a lot in passion because Aiesec Slo for now, it's not that big entity, which has a lot of potential, but we are not that much stable in terms of our operations and MC support. So first thing should be passion towards the function, towards changes, towards reality. Yeah, and for not choosing people, I guess it's the same. If they just apply to apply, that's not the right thing.
Uroš. Yes. Hi. So I have a question about your presentation. You were talking about Slovenians complaining a lot. So if you can maybe just list a couple of weaknesses and strengths which you see in our country.
Well, weaknesses, we can start with this. That's a lot about not even mentality. It's a lot about how people perceive the country. Because I was really surprised because, for example, for us, from generation to generation, topic of complaint changes. Here it's pretty the same. And people don't feel the ownership to change something. This is a weakness. Maybe in terms of strategy, it's a bit of market stagnation because market is not developing that fast right now here. From strength, you have super cool education here, and people who are skilled enough to get university degree, they have a huge potential. And I see a strength of them not going out and looking for opportunities somewhere else, but creating opportunities in here and looking for opportunities in here. And for market which is stagnating, also creating opportunities for young people will move it forward. Yeah, that's it.
Lisa. Okay, so I have a follow-up question to Uroš's question. So you want to create opportunities for young people here, you meant that for Slovenian young people here?
No, I think
in general.
Can you please clarify?
Yeah, you said that you want to create opportunities for young people in Slovenia.
Not really create. I see, for example, Aiesec role here, because we are not the job provider in the end of the day. I see the role here in giving people practical experience for them to be more competitive in the market nationally. And it's also easier for a company to employ someone who has skills. It takes less time for education, it takes less time to give some basic knowledge. And these people can actually start working right from the moment and bring results. And results will move drive the market. Is it?
My question, second question is answered already.
Marta.
First of all, I would like to congratulate you for the stepping forward and so on. So my question is, if you were an ice cream, which flavor would you be and why?
Whoa! I'm gonna put about it. I would pick cherry probably, just because it can be different. It's sour and sweet, and I like diversity.
in life in general. So let's say start to share it. Thank you. Dita.
Hi, also congratulations. I'm happy for you that you decided to take this step. My question would be, can you give us an example of a time when you felt that your opinion was a minority and many people were against what you thought, and how did you handle that situation?
Just give me a second. Yeah, I had such experience when I was part of the team. I was also the Aiesec back in my home community. We had quite difficult, complicated team dynamics at the time, and we had a bit different perception of things, just our goals and what we had to focus on. And I was not the only one who was a minority, but I was part of the minority in the team. What I did in the end, like how, because story is not that much perfect, we struggled a lot, we had like our internal fights, arguments, and stuff. Until one moment, when we understood that like we are now maybe minority, but we still think our idea is right, we made a dialogue. So we talked to another part of the team, and in the end, we just came to have the same why, like the same why of our actions, the same why of our opinions. We just perceive it in a different way, and then I managed to make a dialogue. It turns away easier. So we just converted our opinions all together and came up to a compromise.
Thank you.
Marta.
Hi again. Okay, so since you mentioned that for you the team experience that you provide is really important, what would you do if one of your team member, and I'm mentioning like the MC team, would tell you that they don't feel that they belong to your team and that is kind of one bottleneck in their own experience?
Question is complex just because when it comes to real practice, it's also all about personality. Like my way of solving everything I face is just firstly ask. Like I would firstly ask why this person doesn't think that he or she belongs to a team, and what for her he defines as belonging to a team. And like from this, that could be some kind of action plan, action steps. But if you want to have a united team, you have to learn how to connect people together. So if there is a reason why this person doesn't think, if he or she understands the reason, it's a bottleneck you can work on. So you know how to, not know, but you may need to know how to overcome this obstacle. And in the end, just still my own opinion is to make that happen. Do you have a follow-up question?
No.
No. Thank you.
I have a fourth question, actually. I would like to know if later I can ask.
Maya.
Okay, so let's say, how do you pursue failure? By any chance you don't get elected today, how would you deal with it?
I don't know how many of you know, but I had the chance already not being elected of MCP of Aiesec in Slovenia.
I know.
The thing is like, if you, first my perception of any kind of these things is like, if you lose, don't lose the lesson. So first you need to follow why you were not elected, and what's the thing, what's the reason. And maybe you should work on something that was the reason. But second, like, in Aiesec and not only in Aiesec, if you don't get something, your life doesn't stop on this. So you can, tomorrow is going to be another day. So you just need to make another decision and follow another path, and it's going to be fine. It's going to be all right. Mateusz.
Okay. Could you tell me just in one sentence why you want to do this?
Why I want to do this?
Yeah, why did you apply?
In one sentence. I think I see the big field for changes, and I think I have passion and strategy to changes, to make the change.
Sabina, if you could change one thing about your personality, what would it be?
I would say maybe being more open to others. Like, I'm not a very emotional person in general, and I'm not that getting that close to people really fast. So maybe this one, this could be a thing.
Lisa. Okay, so my question is, how would you make yourself appear available for all the questions from members, from your MC team, from your local committee team? Like, for example, that you are there to probably get information from you. So how would you make yourself more available? Because right now you just said that maybe you have some type of problems with that.
More approachable.
Yeah, more approachable.
Well, like my first step, because I would say it's just like make step out of your comfort zone, and just for me to forget. It's like I'm not that easy to approach. I'm not that willing to get open to others like really fast. So the first field probably on first interaction is plenary or with LCPs or with anyone else. Just tell them that I may look like, as Dina said, hard to get.
Yeah, it's my catchphrase.
So, but it's not like this. So if you feel, just come, and I'm not going to bite you. We'll talk, and it's going to be totally okay in the end.
Thank you. Dina?
So, like, it's all also connected somehow to that. But within your MC team, which type of leadership style would you use, and how would you connect to your members, like MC members? Because, like, also you said, like, you're sometimes unavailable emotionally, and you stated, like, also I think in implication that you really cherish the like first connection with your team. So how would you do that, and what leadership style would you use?
It depends, like in general, it depends a bit. I would say a lot because type of leadership style can easily changes, but it depends a bit on personality of people, I see, because we can be on background, where they're coming from, if it's going to be international team or like somebody from local pipeline. Like my leadership style in general, the first thing for me is to build the trust in a team. So to build the trust in terms of professional approach, to build the trust in personal relations, to set expectations among team members, why people, for them to understand each other, why people behave the way they behave, why people react to things the way they react. I would say for MC team, it would be a lot about coaching in terms of knowledge and to make people feel on the same wave, because they're coming from different programs, from different trials, different operations. So the first thing is about not even education, but coaching, and second is about building the trust.
Yeah. Dito?
I have one. Can I do for her? Can I ask one for her? Because I have 4 questions.
I would like to give my question.
Okay, so in your application, you mentioned that one of your improvement points is the lack of attention to details. Like, due to the experience that we have been having in the MC team right now, like, I think you can agree with me that details can make the difference between failure and success. So because of that, I would like you to present me 2 concrete strategies that you will use in order to improve this gap that you have.
Like first strategy for me, I'm list making person. When I see them something out of my mind, I'm making the list. So I have my own planning around the things I have to do. This is the first strategy, which actually helps. And secondly, because like to-do list and to pay attention list is different thing. So the second strategy is like to pay attention list to make it, because like details in teamwork is details of teamwork. So make it available for all the team members for having the clear understanding of what has to be done, what will have to be done, and just track the small things.
What's the second strategy? That's one, right? I asked two.
This is like two.
Oh, okay.
Divided by my own details, let's say of my own work and details of the team. Thank you.
Lisa, what do you think you gained the most knowledge from last year's application to this year? So what do you think was the key of that?
Oh, I actually evaluated my, let's say, application process itself. I learned a lot, like, what do you mean? Like, from what I did from not being elected, or from what I learned in comparing between two types of application?
It's basically both. I want to know what this year gave you that so much better than the next year.
Yeah, the first thing I noticed, I learned how to think in a bigger scale. Like how to take into consideration more details, how to take different realities. Because last year, like a year ago when I was applying, I was LCP of like very big entity, which has big operations, but not all. Like you have your own reality and it's just like one reality. In past year, I learned how to take into consideration different realities, different current states from different backgrounds. This helped me a lot. In general work of our MC team, we're 6 people from 6 different countries. And many things coming from cultural perspective, coming from past experience, and it also grows in your mind, because when you interact on a daily basis with people who have totally different past experience with you, it teaches you a lot how to change your way of thinking as well. Thank you.
Marta.
Okay, so my last question is, you said it in your application that you need, that your overall strategy includes boosting, expanding new markets, talent empowerment, and so on. So this means that for you to drive this culture within the country, you will need a really action-oriented and making it happen MC team and MC culture. So imagine that you chose your MC team and that in the end, they, like your team, they're not as proactive as you would like them to be, or as proactive as Aiesec Slovenia would need them to be. So as a leader, how would you handle that situation? And how would you deal with your team in order to make them more proactive and more more doer oriented?
I see the thing here is letting the leading by example, because if no one is proactive, somebody has to be, let's say. So it's a lot about making like step by myself. So if I see this lacking, I have to show by examples. Second thing, sometimes MCs are lacking external perspective in terms of like, especially if they work independently, because not in third tier entity, as we are, for example, independently from AI. We don't have AI coach, or we don't have somebody who could observe our work. So the thing is like, maybe we need to attract some external, like new wave, new brief. It could be somebody from another MC going for seat, or a chair for a conference who has different perception of things, and who has this proactivity. Just sometimes people need to see the example. I think this could be the first step. Is this okay? Thank you.
Mateusz.
Is your network? No.
We will cover that.
Okay, you have a chance right now to go anywhere you want in the world. Where would you want to go?
Just go.
Just.
I think we would go to Africa, or like to Kenya, Ethiopia, or this kind of place. Because it's different from where I'm coming from a reality of things every day. So it is there for you. Okay, we have Maya.
So MCP position, like the position MCP is in, can oftentimes be also like a lonely position because you are the only person in the entity who is going to enter in your team, who is going through that experience. The question essentially is how would you deal with that? What strategies you would use to deal with the pressures of thinking?
The first thing, a good thing, that I wouldn't be the only one MCP in the world. I think PI is kind of lonely position. He definitely has no one passing through the same experience. I still think importance of like having someone from another entity being bonded inside MCP team, because these are people who pass through similar experience. And second thing, like I used to be president, like it's kind of lonely position as well. The thing is like how bonded you are with your team, because these people can support you a lot. And the third, Aiesec is not a bubble. And you don't want to keep yourself inside a bubble, especially for me being here, because I have not so many people in this country. All my friends, family, they're far away. So just building something outside of Aiesec could be probably a great thing, just for you to get external perspective and external vision of your own life, not even of your work, just to get a bit outside of the box. Thank you.
Dita? Okay. So considering the weak local pipeline in Slovenia, maybe you would expect to have more internationals in your MC team again next year. So my question would be, considering the many different cultures and perspective you will have an international team, it will be more difficult for you to unite this team as one voice. So how would you deal with the situation when your MC team doesn't see you as a leader who is guiding them in the right direction, or they do not agree with what you are saying?
Well, let's take a situation that I feel that my direction, the strategy I see here is the relevant one. But let's keep like this. And my team doesn't see the strategy as the right one. I think I would try to guide them through the same logic, same process, same discoveries I best to get the strategy. Just because when you make it logical and following step by step, you get more understanding in every step you take. So my idea is, I think my action plan would be just to help them to pass through the same, not through the same experience. Experience is not the same anyway. But through the same discoveries I passed to come up to decision I made. So and after this, probably we could be aligned as a team. If it doesn't work, I will go with something else.
With something else too.
Like like for me, it's a bit hard to answer a hypothetical question because I don't know what people's personality, so it's a bit out of space. So what I see here, the first step is to help people to pass through the same logic as I did. And second step could go through our common team purpose. Because again, if people apply with passion to make some changes here, they have the same why as I have. So if we go for common why, in the end we will come up to the same strategy, to the same vision, the same direction.
Thank you. We pass through our questions. If someone has more questions, please raise your hand. We can give 5 more minutes. Yeah. Okay.
Do you still think it would be useful that you would have Slovenian in your MC team just because of the Slovenian reality?
I think it's extremely useful. Like, not useful is not the right word. Like, I just think that someone from local reality in MC team is a crucial thing. And ideally, at some point, I think all national entities have to come, but most of the team is national, coming from national realities. These are the people who know the reality the best. It's also a lot about passion, because I can want to make the change here. I can really strive for it. But I'm not the one who's coming from this country. Even though I like it so much, but I'm not the one who will work here. And I'm probably not the one who's gonna raise my kids in here. So like somebody who is from here and who like really belongs to the reality, I guess like crucial thing.
So have a follow-up, please.
Yeah,
So
sure.
how would you then motivate people from Aiesec Slovenia to apply for Aiesec positions?
I see here the components and showcasing the experience. Because MC experience, from what I know, is in any entity. Like in local realities, people don't really have clear understanding what MC actually does. Especially if MC and LC are quite close. Let's like, for example, we are with Ljubljana here. We're sharing the same office, we meet every day, and it looks pretty the same. Like we're doing pretty the same work, and for locals and maybe not interested, seem not to be interesting just because you're just changing from LC to MC, do the same stuff for another year. It's not like this, because MC work is different. MC work is a lot about strategy. MC work is a lot about questioning. It's a lot about numbers, a lot about statistics, and general organizational management.
No, I get that, but how would you present that to members that they would actually find it appealing and feeling like willing to apply for it?
I think pretty the same way I did it now. The thing is like, we just have to be more open to members for them to get better understanding of what is MC role, what is LC role, what is members role, what's their role. So.
Okay, thank you, Marta. Okay, so this is a follow-up of the follow-up of the follow-up question. Because you mentioned that it's like that under your perspective, at least every MC team in the ideal situation should have at least one national person. So my question for you is, if you, for a back office area, you have two people applying. One is a local team member, so someone from Aiesec Slovenia that was like a team member or a team leader or whatever, that had like around 3 months of Aiesec experience. And at the same time, you have an international with 1.5 years of experience, and this person has already had some leadership positions, let's say like EB experience internationally. Like, who would you go for? We're talking about back office.
Yeah. Well, it's again about like hypothetical questions because I don't know the personality. And a lot about motivation, because I don't believe in lack of experience itself. So many stories when, for example, somebody who has joined Aiesec 2 months ago was elected as LCP or LCP, and he got such great results that like no one who had longer experience could get. It's a lot about, I cannot say like whom would I pick just for this criteria, but if somebody, like if they have the same motivation, if they have the same passion, this is a big tough decision. And probably I would go for local. But that's not black and white, so we'll see.
Okay, anyone else?
I have one.
Yeah.
So let's say this is a story. Just you're going to have a quick answer. So picture that it's nighttime, like around midnight, and you're standing in front of a church. And the man walks up to you and asks, "What's the time? What does he really want from you?"
Here in Slovenia, probably ask for a time. I said, but here in Slovenia, probably ask for a time.
Someone else? Okay, in this case, we can thank you for the first round of questions and now stand up from the crowd. Now, I think my agenda says that we are going for lunch. Lunch? Yeah, yeah, because we love that you're leaving.
Okay, we have two proposals here. Either lunch, which is 1 hour break, or 15-minute break and continue with strategy questions and then go to lunch.
Yeah, that's better, yeah.
The second, the first break, the
Second
second lunch. Mini break and lunch. Questions. Okay, then let's do it like this. You have 15 minutes. So 15 to 12. No, sorry. The other one, 5 to 12. 5 to 12, let's meet here again for the strategy questions. I kindly ask you maybe to refrain discussing strategy and application and everything with the candidate, but of course you don't also need to ignore her. Just maybe keep in mind that we're in the election process, so these kind of questions are part of public forum, not private conversations during this time, yeah? Okay, thank you.
So, can I talk to MC really quick?
Yeah. Can I just ask you something? Do people like there have questions?
I'm checking it. I know that you asked on Facebook, so I'm checking on.
Okay, so you will let me.
Yeah, if they really are very excited.
Did you write the questions and the answers? Yeah. Well, it says that the role.
We have the recording so we can add it.
I just know that.
Na minha moeda.
like geography anymore. So it's like, so it's like as more towards this seems to from my perspective, so and then also wanted to see what is she going to do differently in order to actually have this responsibility and right now. Yeah, it's there. Oh, I think. Do you know what I got? Guppies. You know,
Thank you. I can do it like a brother, do it like a dude, grandmother.
Oh my god, I'm so happy. I think my parents charged my phone, and because of that, I got 10
And more please.
You ended up not telling me. Should I write the OJIP question or not?
What?
Really Westnet or?
I don't know. I will see what my colleague wrote. Why did you get that back?
Okay, so we go the same way as previously. You can write up to 3 papers. This time, questions are on the strategy part. So, like her vision of her role or Aiesec in Slovenia or Elsis or whatever in the next year.
Shots. Oh.
Okay, everybody pass their
Yeah, I'll take questions.
Okay, so I will call the candidate in. Don't forget, it's a really tough thing for her, so cheer her when she comes, yeah?
Yeah.
Norway.
Okay. So to update you, the process is the same as before. This time, the questions will be about strategy. Yeah? Uroš.
Yes. I have a question that refers to my first question. So you mentioned our country's strengths. So how would you implement those strengths into Aiesec strategy?
Well, what is here? It's a lot about like first block of strategy that I was planning to. So it's about development department. It's just like your education system here is like really well developed. So people have a lot of opportunities, but play like in practical experience. So just it's like an edit video of Aiesec experience. You can get your practical skills connected with what you studied to get like to become professional faster. Like you become like young professional. This is a lot about it. Second thing, a lot about the market itself. So we're not covering much in here, especially when it comes to corporate part of market existing in here. I see here the big importance and relevance of IGP program and customer sales strategy, which is based on marketing analysis, which is based on our previous performance. And here, after we somehow define the capability and the relevance of the product, we can extend our operations and increase awareness among market corporate sector about the impact we make and actually like talents we develop.
Marta.
Okay, so one of the things that I noticed in your application is that you didn't quite mention like AI initiatives that global initiatives that AI has been running. So one specific thing is the Youth Speak survey. Since it's a survey that is completely targeting youth and that can help us to actually empower our sales towards corporate markets, I would like you having in mind the Slovenian report for Youth Speak. I would like you to address like how can we use the main issues focused by Slovenian youth to sell to companies and as well to improve our approach towards students like for the next term.
Yeah, honestly, I haven't been analyzing Youth Speak report. Like, just briefly look through it. So, like, firstly, for me, the first step would be relevant to just make an analysis and understand what are the issues like so many youth marks. Like here, in terms of improving general relevance of our product, I see big importance in. Firstly, it's feedback and evaluation, so we have to approach participants of our programs, not only participants, but also maybe EWA stage participants, people who somehow familiar with Aiesec, but we don't know how to perceive organization. So maybe we should connect with them more and get more feedback on our general image, organizational image. The second thing in increasing relevance and our competitiveness in market, it's connected, as I said, with the third part of my strategy. I think we just have to collaborate more with big institutions in here. Like not for example, all of our SUs have relations with universities they're based on, and this is a core thing. It's the first thing. We don't ask what would be relevant for society and for the, let's say, interaction of youth and business sector or governmental sector. So maybe we shall just ask for feedback and in our product development include the answers we got.
Can I follow up?
Okay.
Okay, so because you right now this is something that the current NC is already working on, that is in the improvement of the university relations in all of the entities. So we're not only looking for simple cooperation, but we are actually striving to get universities endorsements towards our programs, like in all of our entities. So I would like you to present me for the two main things that you mentioned, so corporate and student market, to present me two specific strategies, like concrete stuff that your term could do in order to be more useful, to be more like effective.
Yeah, the thing is, current TC works, next TC works. Term is not thing is limited by year, so like initiative should be prolonged and it's like connected to it because education doesn't develop from year to year separately. The strategy I see, for example, for interaction with student and government and university relations, we can ask for endorsement, we can ask for collaboration. What I actually see here is important. Like it's not only about being present in the university, it's also about being part of the university. For example, what we could do, we could make like collaboration with university and for them to promote the students opportunity to not like maybe join Aiesec, it depends on university realities and faculty system there, be a like member or leader in the organization, but also like for them to keep our programs in mind. For example, JP programs, especially ongoing JP programs, it could be super beneficial if we could negotiate with universities that they may promote our whole JP. Because for them, for students, it's practical experience which will and more competitiveness for them on employment market in the following years. And university, like the main product of university is actually graduates who get graduated from university. And the main measurement of success of university is how skilled graduates are. So what I see here is negotiations about collaboration in terms of our program. What I see here, it's not about even endorsement, it's more about recognition from university side that Aiesec is a part of general educational opportunities for a student. For corporate side, what I see firstly, it's a lot about analysis, like whom we have to approach, who are the headliners of the market. Second thing here is evaluation of our products we run. Like, for example, Ljubljana recently raised first IJP, which has to be realized and feedbacked and like evaluated after. So we can base on this, we can base our future sales, not only on this, but only in general like products itself, collaboration in terms of conferences, in terms of youth to business forum. And maybe we should, because when we call the company and we get no, 10 seconds, we just stuck to the no, yeah. Maybe we should just talk to them and ask why no. And what would be yes? So,
thank you. Dita?
Okay, this is kind of related to Martha's previous question. So regarding the global initiatives, can you please name 3 global initiatives which you think are relevant for Aiesec Slovenia, and how will you include this in your strategy next year?
Like, here's like one thing, because in generation 2016 is already going to be part of generation 2020. So AI strategy like for next year terms can change as well. So talking about current, like youth speaker mentioned, I think it's relevant here just because we don't know our market, we don't know our stakeholders. Maybe not like you speak, like global you speak, but maybe we should run similar initiatives based on local realities to understand which could be our ways of interaction with society. There is one initiative that like exists already for a long time, since we have set vision 2015, which is Global Youth Voice. And globally, there is a Global Youth Voice conferences happening before IC, and they also happen in nationally different entities as separate events. I see here the big, it could be done this way for us. Somehow evaluated our youth to business forum to make interaction between youth and business section more, let's say, value-based, more purpose-based, more interactive in dialogue way, and attract more audience to our like, programs. The third thing I would say, like, actually, I have some difficulties to answer about the third thing. But I really am on global initiatives, for example, where I was analyzing Aiesec outputs. Think about standards and satisfaction, student quality. That's like really right idea as I see now for a general global network. And for Slovenia, we have to work with standards a lot because we don't evaluate it that much. So I think here it's going to be implemented. It can be implemented and it will take really good out. To have standards training system here. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisa. I'm really, like, on your campus, already defined collaboration with your learning institutions that we talked more before. Like, why do you think that has such a huge influence? What do you think actually can be done to that point? Because, like, from my natural reality, I can see that connection.
From what is clear, like for example, at the beginning of the term, we got some endorsement letter for our GCP projects we run, because we work with educational institutions, we work with schools, with kindergartens and stuff. And for example, SUs establishing operations when they raise for the first time, they don't have any background. They they call, they get no, they have no trust among the local market just because there was no license there before. I see importance here in governmental, not support maybe it's expertise. Because like if we give our products to feedback and we get some endorsement and recognition from government institutions, they are the ones who drive strategy among schools, kindergartens, and all the sector. And if they recognize us, we will be better recognized at local levels. And if we are better recognized, it's easier for us to sell, and it's easier for us to realize projects and to make it like to increase operations and improve our.
So you just needed a kind of recognition as we're working on right now, so you didn't actually. That my question, like I was thinking, okay, does she actually want to connect with the government itself? Or
No, not connect with the government itself, because Aiesec is an independent organization. We collaborate with different stakeholders, and like being supported by different stakeholders is a good thing. But this is like a partnership, which more influence on our general content, general programs, what we do, what we run. So it's not about sending TNs to the government, which also can be possible, like some countries do, but. Is it okay? Thank you.
Sabina, what will you do if your MC won't have enough money? How will you solve?
Good question. That's like one of my concerns because MC still doesn't function that well sustainably. Like, let's say just to clarify, I see the big importance building the fact that maybe we're building the planning financial model itself. But if we already face a situation we don't have enough money, we have to look for resources. So what does it mean? It means, like, for example, MC sales, running IGP from national level, because then we're less dependent on LCs. What can be done as well, there are many grants and opportunities possibly that we can apply. There is also another option. And if it comes to a crucial situation, like when they totally collapse, no money, no income, no time, we have to pay something like right now, last choice is to borrow money from another Aiesec entity nationally. The thing is, like, money is a thing, because whatever you plan without money is an illusion. Because you just have to keep it in mind. That's a big importance of financial planning and financial budgeting before actually running the operations. Okay.
Well, I would like to have basically a follow-up question to this. So, how do you see MC working? Okay. Let me phrase this somehow. Well, if you create financially sustainable MC, would you create it by going through LCs to get that, or just the MC to provide it?
With our current state and with our current budgeting expenses and incomes, MC has to have some income as well, not dependent on LC, with our current expenses we have. But I think the healthier way it functions when LC has operations, which are well planned during some budget and financial model itself, which sustain MC operation. Like, ideally, I would see it working like this. Because like MC MC mostly must focus not on direct operations, not on calling the companies and making sales, but mostly on developing strategy, evaluation, market analysis, this kind of things, which are not direct actions. But like depends a lot on the financial situation we will have at the end of the term.
Okay, because this year, I can follow up or not? I feel like some of the changes in the companion and stuff that we're trying to do is to actually getting more revenue out of LCs to support the MC to get it more sustainable, which I think is cool in the long term. But imagine if you had a problem, how would you solve it? Like, would you still go into these changes to get more money from the LCs, or you would deal with interest?
Honestly, I think like a financial model now, income that the money which MC takes from LC is kind of okay. Like, it doesn't need to get more changes to get more money and stuff. I've seen problems in sustainable LC operations because not all the LCs and SQs function according to their own like planned budget. So actual budget and planned budget are two different things, which is not healthy for LC for the first. What is here is also because a lot of budget depends on actual goal fulfillment. So when MC and LC set the goals, it also correlated with budget. It cannot go separately. And if LC or MC doesn't fulfill the goal, in the end, you have get in the budget. It's the first thing that is influenced. It's like competitive changes, because they're not that big, there's not like crucial financial policies changes and stuff. I see that in terms, if we manage to stable operation, to make sustainable operations and to fulfill the goals, we won't need that much change in financial policies. It's just a lot about actual results.
Thank you. Marta. I have so many questions. Okay, so since we're talking about like this financial stuff, I will go also for that. Because you mentioned one of your strategies for next term to so that the MC will be sustainable. You mentioned right now that running IGIP MC sales would be like the way to go. But actually, that is also one of the strategies that we have right now. But the thing is that it's not happening. So my question is, first, why do you think that IGIP sales by MC is not happening right now? And the second, what will be different in your terms so that it actually starts happening?
I have a super simple answer on why it's not happening, because we're not doing this. It's always the answer why something doesn't happen, because we're not doing this. What can be different? We focus on other operations a lot for now, which I see at some point more and more, like for example now national focus areas. There is no such thing. It's like MC sales is a top focus. We focus on talent capacity, on marketing strategy, and organizational sustainability. Like IGIP MC sales is like one of the sub-drivers, let's say. What's going to be different? Because like in the next year, strategy I see this like a focus, included to market expansion. And again, it depends a lot on financial planning and replanning what's going to be in the end of this term, because it's half a year more to go, and it's a big thing to change, like big time to change something. So should it be included on MC sales or not? I see the big importance in driving IGIP in general in area. If it can be done by LC and LC has resources and knowledge and pipeline to do it, it's cool. It's like, then it's perfect. If like LC is more smart to focus on other things, like other projects, it can be done by MC. The things like how let's say on top you include it to a strategy, because I don't see in our now in MC term IGIP is like one of the top horizons. It's not.
Can I follow up?
Yeah.
Because actually, under our sustainable growth, like financial sustainability, I think, like national focus area, that is like they're connected. So it's like IGIP sales and MC sales. It's actually one of the strategies that we had like as priority for sustainable growth. So again, why is it not happening?
Because we're not doing this. The thing is, like, we don't have, we don't have a measurement of success planned in terms of financial sustainability. We have, like, we want to operate sustainably. We don't have what should be our overall income, what should be our overall expense, do we have profit or not, which we can spend, like, on supporting SU operations or something. We just don't have all these measurements of success. And when we have nothing to track, we cannot, like, track. And we have no clear goal in here.
But we have IGIP goals.
Yeah, but still.
It's
Okay.
Yeah.
I will cut this so others can have questions as well. Lisa?
I was thinking about the subject that we were just talking about. So in all other areas, you share the same strategies. So if the LC is capable of doing something, and so you should say, well, the strategy is for it, or they would like do it and then see what we do on national level without doing it on local level.
No, I see difference. I think, like, operations should be run by local levels. Because, first of all, the simplest thing, team members, team leaders, VPs are the ones who get experience from IC from local level. MCVPs are people who already who passed through this experience. And it's like emergency plan. When you have to do something to sustain yourself, you go and do. But your task is to develop people, to give them, to provide them information, to provide them strategy, to provide them knowledge, for them to get their experience. So regarding operations in general, I clearly, like, support the idea it has to be done by LCs. Because it's like LC experience.
Thank you. Dino?
I have a question and follow-up question. Because first one is short. What would be your focus program for the term?
Focus program, I see IGCP and OJP as we have right now, because market still is like this. Because it depends, what's here? Here's a growth path. Our programs are on a different stages right now. Like, for example, OJP is slowly moving to maturity and independent functioning stage, because supply and demand more or less correlated. Here is a global network. And, like, program runs, we still have races, we still have awareness and stuff. IGIP has to be in, like, decline stage for several years before, and technically we're now starting from zero. So it's like, there is, like, if you mean by focus area something which will bring us results in terms of overall numbers of experience, it's IGCP and OJP.
Yeah, okay. My follow-up question is, like, you were talking about finance and everything. From my side, as a OGX guy, in your application and now during your answers and so on, I couldn't see any connections to GIP that you mentioned now. Even like with this is concentrated more on BD and ICX, and it has been shown during several years that actually OGIP was bringing the most income regarding financial sustainability. What's your plan for OGIP? Because, like, I didn't see any mentioning of that.
Like, the thing is, OJP here somehow can brand itself. So it's like we have at least customers who pass through this experience, could be our promoter or detractors still. Now when we're switching to new JS system, we have Expo, we have ORS. It makes OGX operations at some point easier, because it's easier to track them, it's easier for people to understand. Like, before, people were coming to us asking for internship, we registered them into mySC.net. Then it depended how operations were built, if they were looking for internships for them, or we gave them access to the database and we were looking for exchange for half a year. In the end, they don't get matched and stuff. A lot of many complications which are now removed by JS system, which, even though it still has bugs, now if it's in the interest of an opportunity, they go to portal, they see countries they can go, experience they can get. In terms of OGX, here, just like my main focus for OGX will go for like university relations area and marketing strategy. Because, like, for now, we have more knowledge on this, we have more expertise on this, and, like, we just need to sustain the operations. It's just like tracking the marketing strategy, the applies, the signups and stuff. While for BD, IGP, the sector where we don't know yet well how to do it, so to raise this operation, we can have to focus on them.
Okay. I'll have a second question connected to that.
Okay. Maya? So, in education, you talk about development, different education cycles, and like the basic standards. But what would actually be some of your steps to actually make this happen? So, like, who was a plan? How would you, I don't know, push it forward?
The thing you see here is like current necessary work on educational cycle implementation, many different steps we haven't been doing before in past terms because talent management was here also, kind of dropped area. What would be one of the actual steps? I think it's a lot about taking care of every single member's experience. So firstly, for example, when members join Aiesec, the one thing they have to, like, the Aiesec has to have for them is their personal development plan, which is usually, for example, when members join Aiesec, he has been told about opportunities he has in the timeline. Here you can go for TLP role, here you can go for B role, here you can go for LCP job, for people to understand that the experience can be long-lasting and they can get more of it than just being a team member. Because members don't stay here like that much longer in Aiesec, just because they get their first experience and they don't see the development next. Maybe they should set like really an advanced like the strategy developed by and tried by MC and actually implemented by LCs, because this increases like talent capacity analysis as well. So people get more as they longer and go for more experience and then bring more results in the end and make more change and more impact.
Okay. We passed half an hour. If you have more questions, we can prolong for half more hour. You have this? Okay.
Yes.
Sabina.
I don't know if I can be so specific, but for example, in Mexican, the main problem is that we don't know how to get new members. So, what do you think is your role, or how you will help us to get more members?
The thing is, like, remember, like, in Prague you have quite small faculty there. And here, for example, the market of student reputation is quite big in general in the country, and they don't differentiate that much, which is an organization which provides different experience. Like, for example, when I enter here in the office, there's like 500 sites, I don't know what the people do, just some students' reputation. I would include a lot to marketing strategy specifically for crying the added value of Aiesec experience. Like for members to get what is for like people who get in touch with Aiesec itself, what is unique in experience that Aiesec Prime provides, which is an area they can develop, things they can go through. Second thing, it's also about some kind of university relations, because you have there like your relation space, you have your office, your faculty. Maybe it could go more from the departments. Like for example, then somebody joins, because you have faculty of organizational management, which is like a core thing that Aiesec does. We all do management on different levels in here. It's leadership. So if you just talk to people, for example, to some professors who has group, and he delivers a topic of, I don't know, marketing strategy development or something, and if we make negotiations, these people can mention that you can get practical experience right now on the faculty. Here is like Aiesec office 2 levels down. Just go there, approach them, you can join them. This would be an option.
Yeah, thank you. You know.
So our biggest like problem from the beginning of the year was talent capacity. We didn't have members, and so according to that, you were like saying that we will be connected to question again about projects. So you said that you would like to focus more on IGIP that we didn't do, and IGCDP that was not done like you said so much good, something like that. And like I said, you would like to have OGX just to run processes that are, for example, now to get in touch with, just to do it like it was done before. Do you think like, well, obviously think like that this is like smart decision because we have new members. More, I think 80% of now whole plenary, Aiesec Slovenia plenary is new members. We think that it would be better first to educate about functional areas, about functional processes for this, for IGFP, for IGCDP, and for sales to new members, to teach them actually how to do it from the beginning. When biggest revenue and biggest income comes from OGIP, and that wouldn't be so much. You said that it would be focused, but still it wouldn't be so priority to work on and to develop, while we still have new system that is not adapted well. And there is a lot of like possibilities to make it better in terms of branding the programs, because from my opinion, that program is still not stable enough to stand by itself, not to focus on it. Well, I'm looking from that side because during past several years, it was the like biggest income from that. I don't know if now my question is, do you think like that you wouldn't like lose too much time and you would get the same result while like getting new members, educating them for new program that we haven't been doing, or somehow switching them to a program that has potential and that has shown that it has potential among Slovenians?
Two things in here. Like, firstly, I'm not suggesting to allocate everyone directly to IGP or IGCP.
Of course.
It's the first thing. So, like, we still run the operation. I think, like, just strategically-wise, we have to more focus on IGX program. The OGX program, like, if you analyze matching raising rate in OGP in the past years, the biggest gap there is actually between raises and matches. The thing is, like, we just recruit people, they sign up, they pass through easy stage, we have interviews with our members, and then we never match them. Just because they had expectation to come to join, to get some internship somewhere, and in the end of the day, they start looking for. This case is happening. Start looking for, I don't know, teaching English in English-speaking country. I want to teach English in Canada. Like, they don't get this exchange. They stay in the system. They are never matched, and they are never realized. There is a huge retention between raises and matches. From what I see here in OGX strategy, because bringing revenue is not the top thing. Like, it may bring the revenue in terms of like raising. Then since like we don't match half of people, they don't pay the second part. So it stays in the system and becomes our detractor. On what JP and like OGCDP has to focus on now, from what I see from my perspective, and actually conversion of actual raises and setting them right expectations in terms of right marketing strategy, and converting them to actual matches and realize this, because there is a big gap in this area. And if we focus on, the program will still keep being like bringing results, not only in just like actual ELT results. And we don't need that much focus on developing something new there, because we still have huge gap to work here.
And like follow-up question, because like I think 2-3 on my last question, you said that we have expert that will help us in like processes and it will speed up everything. And actually Expo was brought here to like to help us in the whole network with that conversion rates, because before students couldn't see what they are signing for, they couldn't see internships and so on, and that was from my side like a problem why we had those conversion rates. So do you think like even with Expa that wouldn't change and that our conversion rates would stay the same? And what is actually problem of those conversion rates, you know?
Like, our conversion rate shall not stay the same, because it's bad for now. The thing is, like, even with Expo, it makes everything easier, it makes operation easier. The thing is, like, it's still managed, like, we still have both sides. We still have EPs who apply, we still have TM managers who can be slow in replying for applications. We have bugs, we have different payment system. We are not that familiar with working with here. With it here, and also a lot about general like OGX perception, because in many cases it comes and ends up only with raising EP. Like, what is this current conversion rate? Unfortunately, I didn't get statistics for like last 3 months because of Expo switch, which is not available for now. But for like previous 2 terms, out of let's say 63 raises, we have 24 realizations, which is not cool at all, because like we have 40 people who never get what Aiesec actually promised them. And the market we have now is a huge amount of detractors, because if they talk to people and some of my friends like us, hey, I would like to go for international exchange, and I've heard Aiesec provided, What people will say like, oh, it's a bullshit. I applied, I paid, I never got an exchange. It's like, don't do it, man.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Dita?
Okay. Can you please describe what is the ideal state of working relationship between MC and LCs? Next turn.
Like ideally, I see that LC, because LC has different realities, but it's not only about realities, it's a lot about knowledge. LCPs, LCPs, because they're passing through different experience. Like ideally, I see the like LCP team and like LC locally this team aligned with national strategy, more or less equipped with the same knowledge. Because even the reality is different, it's cool that people are like step up in the reality and they actually can change it. What is here, like in terms of danger legality issues, I see the importance of clear legislation process for like everyone to be aware what is actually isn't convenient. Because from what I know in general how it happens in Aiesec, we are not that much aware what is convenient we are working on. Like national, global, sometimes local. So I see like ideally everybody is aware on what are our bases, like legal bases. And like the last thing, it's, let's say, communication in real time. Because when MC contacts LC or LC contacts MC and the second person, LCP replies to MCP in 5 days, it's not normal. And it's not normal if MCP replies to LCP in 5 days. It's like, so what I see here is like fast reaction and, let's say, speed of our general communication and interaction between each other.
Thank you. Lisa?
Okay, so what I see here problem right now is that our members are not maybe so aware, not passionate about achieving some goals because they weren't part of planning. And I want to know if you also see that important and if you're maybe thinking about like having a good planning with new members also so they will be a part of it, like for example on international congress when you have a good planning every 5 years, I think it would be really important to do it every year. Each local community together. So I just want to know your opinion about what we're talking about.
It depends on like local realities. Like for example, to get members motivated, the best case practice I ever seen, it's so easy. People just get allocated to the project. Like for sure, LC has planning. It's planned because LCBs are people who get more expertise and they more or less know the growth path. LC is where we'd like to go. The best case practice I ever seen is just like then you allocate new members to teams, functional teams. You in mind already have your goals because you have your planning made by the end of the year. And then you just ask members how much, for example, OJP they would like to realize or how much OJP they would like to realize. And the thing is like people are more ambitious than we think they are. Because if, for example, it always happens like this. I have never seen any exceptions in 4 years. You have your project plan for 10 exchanges realized, doesn't matter which kind of exchanges, or like for 5,000 euros raised, doesn't matter. You ask members how much do you want to do for us as a project team, and in total, when you calculate each other's ambition and you come to the goal, you get 20 exchanges realized in the end. Because people don't know how hard is it, how like what they face and stuff, and if they think their own, like they have their own feeling what they would like to do and what they like to make, they are more ambitious than we think they are. So we just have to maybe let them ask themselves.
Smart, like inside functional areas, but I'm thinking more of in a kind of like, for example, in Sims we had like Ida was explaining what the current state is right now, what the numbers are, what the goal for generation 2015 is, and I don't think members get that, and I don't think they feel connected to that goal because I don't think they understand it. Yeah, like inside their functional areas, of course, they understand their goals, but I don't think they get the whole.
I just think it should go from another way around, maybe, because we have to start with their own goals and ambitions, and like then moving to LC goals, and moving to national goals, and then come up to 2015, because they get the feeling then that their own ambitions is connected with ambitions of people all around the globe. It's like, and then maybe it comes to more commitment to them.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Maya.
So we have like a lack of participation happening, a lack of participation in events that we do, conferences, conversations. like people are just not aware that they should be present. What would be like some of your, like how would you approach it to make them really understand, oh, you should be present at this kind of event? And also, you should be present, yeah, how would you go about it? If it happened, like it was happening.
Like, it's all about getting the ownership towards the things that are happening nationally, among other LCs in different events. I think like my approach would come from LCPs, because LCP is what drives everything that's happening in LCP. It's what drives e-meeting, he's what drives members, he's what leads speeches. Like for me, the first step would be just interaction with LCPs, because LCPs and LCP team is a team. Anyway, it's also a team which has team ambition, which also have team ambition. And if we have team ambition and build like relations, like team relations, it creates purpose and it creates ownership. It's like, and if the leader of entity, like LCP, has an ownership towards what's happening in the national area, the members will get it in the end. Because it goes like, in this way, it goes like from up to down, if it's like, it's not really the right word. But if you drive the leader will drive others.
Okay, thank you. Uroš?
Yes, thank you. So I have maybe an opinion and maybe a perspective.
I'm sorry, can you speak up a bit? I don't hear you well from there.
Okay, so this is a perspective which was given to me by a research center at our faculty. The main problem facing in Slovenia is that most students, and when I say most, I mean at least 80%, feel like they're not part of the university, but a customer. So they go there only to get a degree, a certain piece of paper. And to do that, they have to pay the price of a level of knowledge that they have to acquire. In my opinion, this is the main problem for OGX and also for new members, because you can't really motivate these people to have like an experience and upgrade their degree, because what they want is only a piece of paper. And they're willing to pay the lowest price to get that. I mean, this is a big problem, I think, in Aiesec, but also for the universities, for the research centers. I think that a lot can be done. I don't know how, but I want to hear your opinion about this. Can Aiesec Slovenia have a relationship with the universities about this problem? Can we face it together? And most importantly, do you think that this switch in student mentality can be done like either maybe not like this year, but can we like start doing something about it?
Yeah, it's like from my point of view, it's definitely like not 1 year solution to things. I can share my story. I was a part of university like first 2 years when I studied, like the next 4 I spent just for paper. And that's true, just because I got disappointed because I was not really told anything. Like nobody gave me a chance nobody explained me what I'm gonna do with this knowledge, or why I'm learning now nuclear physics course, which I will never ever use after. Like in collaboration with university, because I think it can be changed. Because at some point it always comes to the end, because you cannot, like, I don't know, produce 30 years long students who are not interested in their degree, just like going the easiest way to get the paper. In collaboration, I just see the big importance here in combining the theoretical knowledge people get, because that's the price they pay. It's the price they pay. They go for studies, they go for lectures. Lectures can be boring. They are boring in like 50% of cases, and they don't know how to. They just taught by something, and they don't have any chance to implement it. So maybe here in collaboration with universities, Aiesec could be a platform to provide experience to people. For sure, not for everyone, because we cannot do anything with architecture studies, for example. We cannot give them a professional area to work. Maybe just some additional soft skills. But this, like, faculties that are focusing on like economics, business management, organizational management, this kind of things. I just see us as a platform for students to get somewhere like in universities and to get more ownership towards their studies and actually their experience they're passing through.
Okay. Just a little follow-up. So, like we were talking a lot about statistics and numbers and stuff. I'm a huge fan of the statistics, but in this case, like we don't have a lot of people in OGX, especially in CAP. You can't really do statistics with only 3 people involved. So I think that maybe just are you willing to a little overcome the statistics and really just have like a strategy, like not the main strategy, but like a sideline strategy, based on people's opinions, like I don't know, like VPs or LCP that has an opinion about how to improve something.
Yeah, because like it's also, we are talking now about national strategy. Local strategy is customized, it's different. Like it has the same direction, but like because LCS has different realities, for sure it's like it should be based on LCP's and EB's opinion because we are one politic for local realities. There's one thing about Aiesec, actually, statistics doesn't always work here. Story from my past when I was LCP, I had 4 members of my EB team. We have different markets, it's true, but we don't approach even like 0.5% of it. Being 5 people on the team, we started the term with 1 member. We realized in a year almost 200 exchanges. And there was like around 35 OJPs realized, which is super small in our market. Like it's less than it could be done because we have a huge way to go, huge gap to fill. But these 30 exchanges were done by 1 person. She had no team, she was alone. She was alone, she had strategy, and she was like the one who did it. And here statistics like of people and stuff, if we have like the right way to go, we can do it like 10 seconds easier. So, thank you.
It's my theory.
Okay. So, in order for Aiesec Slovenia to be really strong, I think this smaller entities need to grow, especially in Maribor. So how will you ensure that they grow?
Like to make AFCs grow, first we need people there. So maybe like for example Maribor, which has a big potential, the second biggest city in Slovenia, they have like kind of small results now and small pipeline. I think we just should allocate more resources to this LCs in terms of like maybe we should bring CIDR, the national entity, someone who will just work with SUs, spend some time there building operations, explaining, coaching them with external perspective. Maybe I see like really big importance customized strategy for every LC and SU which develops. And the first thing, you know, in general, for entity to grow, I think we are lacking one thing for now. We are lacking some organizational culture. We don't even have a shouting or cheer of Aiesec Slovenia, which is a gap. And like the entity then doesn't feel that much united or doesn't feel belong, because when like members of small entities don't feel like they belong to something big, they're not the part of big movement and stuff, they are not that much motivated to grow, to actually do the results. Because results comes when you just take an action. And I think like for us to grow generally as a national entity, we also have to keep it in mind and create our national identity and our national face, let's say our image. So it's like core 3 things I see for now.
Thank you. Dino?
So, for example, it's a situational question enough of GX. So you have like your strategy, what you think currently that is the best for a country. In case that you get elected, you elect your MC, and it in the end during the planning, talking with LCs, they figure out that they don't agree with you on that plan, and they propose something else. They have like different directions that they would like to go. How would you approach that personally? Because this is like the plan that you think now that is the best one. How would you approach that problem? How would you solve it?
It's again, I think I answered a pretty similar question before. If I see this white plan is the best, because if I see like that local levels don't agree, MC don't agree, I will ask for like expertise from someone else, maybe from entity that has similar growth path or something like this, to ensure that I'm doing actually the right thing. Like if I know that my plan is like the most relevant for now, we'll just go personally with every single person. We'll go with LCPs, with MCPs, through the same logic at best when I came to the point that I created the strategy. like feedback, analyze, and in the end we will connect to one direction.
So you would like push your plan, or
Yes.
you would
Firstly, I would like,
consider it?
because if I see that I'm the only one who thinks that the plan is right, I will question myself and I will ask for expert advice. Maybe for AI, even like they are also hard to get. Maybe other entity which has similar growth path. Just for me to ensure that the plan is correct. But if I know it is correct, then I will push it.
Okay, Marta?
Finally. Okay, so I have a lot of questions. Aiesec Slovenia is an entity that belongs to Tier 3, and unfortunately, in the international plenary, we still have, let's say, not relevant presence. So what I would like to ask you is for you to give us 3 specific and concrete strategies that you would like to implement, like during next term, in case you are elected. Strategies that will help Slovenia to increase its relevance in the international plenary. And when I would like these strategies to be related with members and LCs, members and LCs, not specifically only MC.
We have to clarify one thing, because marketeers, in terms of tiers globally, obviously our market now doesn't allow us to be present on the first tier, just because our general amount of companies, schools and stuff.
Just a clarification, that is not the point.
The thing is I'm following this. The thing is if you want to be louder in the national plenary, be GCP's provider and stuff, free strategies, it's not free strategies, it's steps we have to make. Firstly, we have to analyze our bottlenecks, which we have, for now, it's pipeline, conversion rate between different programs and stuff. From LC perspective, to define the gap. The second is because there is no universal thing for now, because it also has to consist of big and be based on big analysis. It's the second thing, we customize a strategy for every single LC with very specific bottlenecks. Somewhere it's pipeline, somewhere it's budget stuff, somewhere it's something else, programs are not growing, whatever, stagnation. So we customize a plan. And the third thing, we're just looking for a specific strategy to cover the gap. That's the first thing, because to be louder in the global network, we don't need to shout louder than others. We don't need to be biggest delegation at IC. We have to provide GCPs from our national plenary. And to provide GCPs, we have to find specific solutions for problems we have here and grow. If we analyze, find a solution, fill the gap and grow, this is already a big thing. And then we have to, let's say, speak up about our results and about our achievements.
Okay, what's the other 2 strategies?
Yeah, I don't see here the relevance of free strategies itself, in terms of solving bottlenecks and increasing our, let's say, being role model at the national plenary. There are things just for us as country positioning.
Okay.
Thank you. Maya? Okay, so you get 3 units. That's unit. What is your plan for those 2 units, and how do you ensure that they would be connected to the whole idea of Aiesec Slovenia and to really develop, and also to have the right, let's say, support from our side?
First is Novogorica. First is copper, Novomester, Novogorica.
Yeah, the whole.
Yeah, there's thing. As you are also at different stage, because for example, copper has LCD and CB from very beginning of the term. They have a big team. They finish the first recruitment, and they're on the first stage. They have to establish more relations with universities. With universities, they have their copper, and first they grow the pipeline because they have to recruit more people. Their recruitment was not that big. To build pipeline for next term, for next EB team, for next ST president. Novomester has different situation. They're expanding entity, which is I would say it's not even expanding entities, initiatives happening there. by person who will be present there by the end of the term. So there, the strategy is education of people who were recruited there, like for them to be the next pipeline of Aiesec and Novomest and drive it forward. And for Novogorica, this is like interesting question because I think now we have just to find an initiative and start it over again because there's like nothing happening there. So it means like everything from very beginning. There should be someone who is motivated by idea, who is opening the expansion, who is establishing relations in the university. And what's about United Aiesec Slovenia if you want to be part of Aiesec Slovenia? It's also about Aiesec Slovenia in general now. It's also a cultural thing. Because for us to be united and for expansions to follow the national direction, they also come up with a culture. So it's like shouting, dances, our own vision, like for our own national direction.
As part of the question, I go to then. I can say that your resources are again really limited and you cannot really do as many of the Aiesec coaching visits or just like general visits to the entity. How do you ensure that they will still feel that they will still develop, that they will still have their drive to work?
I think like two things I see here. First is like constant communication. So like this shadow meeting weekly, monthly for everyone to be aligned with what is happening in MCP. Second thing I see here is probably it also should come from LC to LC support. Because like if they interact with each other, they feel more connected with each other. And if MC person doesn't have a like people and stuff, SQ smaller LC could approach a bigger LC for expertise. If they succeed in something, how did you succeed? Why did you succeed? What were the sources? What were the strategy? And if we build this communication with like in general interaction and trust among national primary, it should work.
Thank you. I have two last questions. Mateusz?
Okay, so I see everything. I would like to maybe ask you, what is your vision for Aiesec in Slovenia in 2020?
It's a long question. It's like it's a big question, like long-term planning. Because 5 years is a big thing. It's like so many things can change in this time. I see like the first thing I see is a bigger plenary, like more members recruited in. It's hard for me to speak numbers right now because I was like 5 years planning should go year by year, not from 2015 to 2020. Like bigger plenary, more members in LCs. Second thing I see, because we have not that big market to cover, let's say. Like for us in our numbers, this is huge, but in general, it's not so many companies, not so many organizations. And this is connected to actually with even 2015 visions, being here the first choice partner for externals, because we're still not yet. So then what does it mean? Like, for example, school approaching us, asking for intern, or like company calling us how we can collaborate and if they can collaborate with us. And the third thing, like I would say, it's like strong LCs capabilities. Like when LCs are like independent entities which function totally well. They have back office and front office aligned, and they run operations, and then they can, like, I don't know, like big players. Not maybe in terms of result, but in terms of like experience the members get and all the stakeholders involved get.
Okay. Thank you. And Zita?
Okay, so you were talking a lot about like talent empowerment and also like how to grow sustainably next term. So can you please state 3 innovations or new things that you will bring in the recruitment area or in talent development area?
The first thing I would say is induction period for members. It's like because we recruit them and we bring them to national conferences. And there's not so many things happening in the middle. They start first calls, maybe they start first meetings, first presentations, but I think it has to be more intense educational period in terms of like soft skills, not only functional education. members to give knowledge they will require after, like general, for example, sales training, public speaking training, information management training, this kind of things. The second thing, I can call it innovation for now, but we're like driving an initiative right now, and like, I don't know how it's going to be like end of the year. It's educational cycle tracking. Like then we have like total plan for our members' development. It's like let's call it educational cycle strategy-wise from LC, BC, and MC, and I would call it like personal development plan, let's say, for members. Then they have, when they join Aiesec, then they have clear plan of actions, they can participate with stuff. And the third thing is, I'm not even sure it's also like initiative, but we have to drive more for our members' participation in international conferences, more, more connected with global Aiesec network, like its participation in ITCT, participation in local, national or regional or even local leadership development seminars, for them to feel the spirit. Because we don't have like that much, since like we're in the tier 3, we don't have that much interaction with Aiesec International or with our players on global area. And our members don't feel like this 10 seconds being global. So this will be the first thing, driving the global behavior, let's say, Aiesec network.
Is that okay? Okay, so with this we ran out of questions, out of time. You have
People, please let me ask questions.
I would like to propose to prolong this. That okay?
Yeah, if it's okay for you. Okay, for how long?
10 minutes.
Okay, so I have to ask you if everyone agrees that we prolong the session for 10 more minutes. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So everyone who has questions, raise their hands. Okay, I will give first one to LC, then one to FC, and that's like it will go like this. So you can talk.
Do you think that MCP job is be available for LCPs or for members just during the office hours? So from, you understand problem.
Yeah, like, there is a thing, like it's a lot about expectations in general, like how this interaction with MCP and members. I don't think it's like obligatory that MCP works from 8 to 6 or whatever. Just there should be some limits of communications after like MCP and LCP, because I don't feel it's professional when MCP calls to LCP at 10 p.m. in the morning asking, like, 10 p.m. in the evening, like asking for something. And it's like, in case it's not an emergency situation, I don't feel it's professional that LCP do the same. Because people, for sure, members and EBs and LCPs have different challenge here. Because like MC works like there for office hours, but LCs were students, they have their own time and stuff. I think it should be just arranged in advance. Like, what is the time when you call? What is the situation when you approach? That's like, what's the question and what's the way to interact? Because like, one thing when you just send a message or send email or call, and second thing when you type text to someone urgently in Facebook at 3 a.m. It's also different thing. So just for us to grow as professionals, I just think that communication standards should be set in advance. It's not all about hours, it's just about how like two people communicate with each other.
I don't know.
So if we can after break,
Okay. Was that the answer?
Yeah.
Okay, then you can.
Okay, so during this this discussion, you mentioned a lot marketing strategies. So as the brand representative of Aiesec Slovenia right now, I would like to ask you to provide the national plenary with innovative strategies for each of the ELD programs. So OJIP, OJCDP, IGCDP, IGIP, and talent management.
Here's the thing, like, since we didn't analyze, like, let's say, efficiency of current marketing strategy, mine will be a bit out of, like, let's say, out of space, like how I did it, how I proceed. I think, regarding OJX and TM programs. What is here? Firstly, again, we have big market of competitors in here. So firstly, we have to define what is like, and use in our own marketing strategy all the message we deliver. Our 80/20, what is like specific in joining Aiesec, what is differentiate us from others. It's the first thing. If you go from a model like that, we have goal, target, message, and channels. Like skip the part as a goal because we're not talking about number of applications or things like this. About the message, but I see here what we deliver a professional leadership experience. It's what I see here as marketing message. What is specific with us? I wouldn't like to talk about special thing like how it's going to be visualized or something like this. Just a message. Our message is professional leadership experience. Also, I think that TM and LGX programs should move more to offline promotion. We make a lot of people, for example, promotion of faculty or this kind of things. We do it for now, but we also have events we organize, for example, Youth to Business Forum. We didn't have any clear goals set for marketing strategy for amount of applications or amount of EWA people engaged. And we didn't plan it even, so I think it should be included to our plan for all things we run to have specific goals in terms of interaction with externals.
10 seconds.
Yeah, quickly for Aiesec program, I just think we have to showcase more. It's we have to post everything we do. We have to check more publicity.
Thank you. Okay, who else? Okay, since it's on you can ask.
Okay, so how do you see or how do you plan to do planning, considering that we lack ownership in plans and tracking of plans for MC and also for LCs during the start of your term?
I think it should start with the let's say I would divide the planning by two parts because here LC church now changing in April, and obviously LC planning is coming before MC planning. So here I just see the coaching from my current MC team for LCs just to create some direction together. Then for MC, first of all, it's analysis of LC plans because we are the ones who make plan first. Aligning them to the national strategy, and if it doesn't go to the same direction, it's a lot about also interaction with LC's coaching and choosing customizing the strategy for every LC to make it still united national strategy. Does it make sense?
So from the LC plan, you will make national plan.
We have no other options for now, just because LC planned before, and in this case, EB terms start the planning. And new MC coming, it can be planned revision, but we still cannot make LC replan everything they've done, especially because we already running revisions for 3 months by the moment when MC start working. So I just see the big comparison coaching from current team and from forward team, and big strong connection after. Then it's gonna be when it comes to MC plans, MC strategies.
Okay, going to first to LCs and then to MC.
Do you have any new ideas of implementing any national project or event next year? Or maybe also improvements for the national project right now?
Yeah, I see, for example, I had several ideas about what could be implemented, but I didn't think of them much, so I wouldn't like to share it for now, because it's pretty random and not really organized. From what I see in improvement, first, for example, Wine to Business is one of our core building products now, but we don't even charge companies for participation in this, so I see it's a big important improvement points in here, because we have to position ourselves on market as well. Second, it's about, for example, our IGC programs. I think we could work more on content in there, just to ensure it's everything that has been delivered to schools, kindergartens, stakeholder documentation is relevant for the moment, and it passes through expertise, somehow passes through expertise, and it's relevant in society right now. And for OGX programs, I would say for now, since it requires more tracking of expa, more bug solving and this kind of things, it's just a lot about general interaction with our EPs who join us, or setting the expectations. But this is just something to work on, to polish a bit.
Okay. Can I just go first? You mentioned agility in content. Because right now I can see that some projects that are being done maybe don't have like right purpose behind it. So do you maybe have some ideas in that area?
I think we should just.
deal
I think we should just pack. I was thinking of like on my MCP Aiesec chirp, let's say. I think we should pack content more universal, like to make it national for us to give to our stakeholder organization pretty the same things. So like make it like one project, not just random realizations happening all around the country. And I think we have to pack more EP experience, like what actually the person who gets here get, and what's the leadership development he is passing through. So it's like lead, for example, self-reflection, evaluation, and creating for him a supportive system, which is like about leadership development journey. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so imagine that you are elected. What would be your MC structure and why?
Well, ideally, I envision 6 people, except MCP, so 7 in total. I wouldn't differentiate it that much from current now structure. Only maybe it could be that one of the functions can be divided with the second one, like pretty the same as we have right now. I see clear importance in being marketing person, BD person responsible for like separate people that who work only on marketing in BD because we need to improve our back office. This is like part of my strategy about general market presence and market expansion. I think strategic separation. I was thinking maybe we should divide it by parts, but I don't see now the relevance. So pretty, we can start pretty the same as you see right now. It's like BD, finance, marketing, OGX, Aiesec, talent management, MCP.
Thank you. You had a question.
Oh, yeah. What do you see as the biggest problem concerning the fact that the terms will be kind of offset? So term is going to be April, Feb for LCs, and then Feb to Feb, and MC is going to be June.
Yeah, it's like I best have this experience personally because we switched terms in Aiesec commercial when I was environment. Like the big thing here is like for example April to February. It's like last 3 months like remaining for that people actually lose in their ED experience. I just see that importance in like intense education in the beginning, people who join in April, because their experience will be lessened. Like we have less time to educate, we have less time to make mistakes, we have less time to plan, so everything should be shortcut in the very beginning. So we have to be very efficient in the beginning. And then as it turns to like February, this is actually very convenient in terms of LC and MC communication because the first part of the term, LCBs who don't have experience, they work as experienced MC already. So we don't start at the same time. So I don't see the problem, but just for now we have to plan how to switch for people who start in April to get full experience still.
What about the summer months?
Summer months, it's also a tricky thing because, for example, like summer preparation is the responsibility of current EB team because it has to be raised, planned by current outgoing EB team. So it's also a lot about transition. So I think the transition should be tracked in entities, not only like by MC, but also its responsibilities for outgoing EBs to provide the successors all the relevant information they need. Because they are the ones who start and they have people who will continue. This is complicated, but like it can be done.
Okay, yeah, you can. This is the last question, or if anyone has more. No? Okay, then this is the last question.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with we have been talking. So basically, I would like you to tell me how do you see the synergy between MAC and ICX, so marketing and ICX. And in your answer, please have in mind national events and showcasing experiences.
It's super simple, because Aiesec is a function that can work separately because it has less synergy spots in terms of like raising resources with back office. Like what I see here, it also depends. If it's IGP, it's a lot about positioning and branding, like creating the portfolio, which is like relevant on market, which looks professional, this kind of things. The second, if it turns to IGCP, the synergy spot here, I say, is just like showcasing is basically the strategy. It's like how, because I think the showcasing of IGCP with goals of everything is like, let's say all IGCP operations should be also a metric of success of marketing responsible person. Because it also has to be, it just has to be included in the JT. Because mostly marketing people build synergies with TM and OGX, not with ICX, and they're like overloaded with the processes from TM and OGX. And it's just like, let's say ICX operations goes to back, just because it's prioritized like this. So I think it's just like ICX and marketing have to have common goals, which is like the same for two people, and they're clear and measured.
Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for I think this was long a tough round for everyone, yeah? We have a short lunch break, it's 45 minutes. I would ask you to come here by 2 or even a bit earlier than 2 because I think we have external guests who came here to help you in your decision making, so it's good to respect their time. I don't know what are lunch arrangements.
So lunch arrangement is we can go somewhere nearby. We are not like ordering anything, so it's just somewhere like where we can grab lunch and then eat at No, there's Popper, there is the Club Place across the street, and Subway.
Who wants to go to Kebab Place? We can just close this official part and then, yeah. Okay, so be back 2 minutes by 2. I don't have your phone numbers to start calling you, so yeah, make sure you keep time. Please keep to the previous arrangement of not discussing candidature with the candidate or the strategies. I think